President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to join forces with his administration in promoting peace and unity, irrespective of political differences. This, according to him, would create the necessary conditions for unfettered development of the nation. He maintained that Nigerians are one despite the diversity of language and culture of the people. He spoke at the commissioning of a complex which houses a data center, a command and control center, and a visa approval center, which are expected to enhance internal security, improve the ease of doing business, and promote regional travel and trade. Well, joining us now is Sobowale. They are our Rise News analyst in-house with us. Can see you're already clearing your throats. We have so much to talk about today. Good afternoon. Welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Good to have you on the show.
Right.
So let's talk about, this, part of the speech, the president talking about unity as a development, imperative, emphasizing that peace and unity are prerequisites for development. And how would you say that his administration has practically addressed the deep-seated tensions that threaten this unity, especially in regions like the Southeast and Northwest?
Well, the thing is that the president is making an appeal. The times are hard.
Very hard.
And people are in pains, economic pains, literally. So it's an appeal. And you see, you must take it in the context of where it made that appeal. See, at a place where we are dedicating sophisticated gadgets to secure our borders.
Yeah. That's
something to be commended. You see, on that note, we are ahead of the U.S. in terms of migration and open borders. Because it was a campaign against open borders of the Biden administration that made Trump to win. But we are putting in place a sophisticated equipment that will coordinate monitoring and policing of the people entering our nation. You see, you can't underplay that because you see the Okada people, you see so many people doing banditry, doing Fulani farmers conflicts. See, even the northern leaders have said they are not part of us here. They are migrants from neighboring nations. So if we secure our border, we'll minimize our insecurity problem. So I commend him for that. But on the role of appeal, I think it should be taken seriously. Because look at the issues. I don't want to mention issues, but I will mention concepts. You see, I was somewhere yesterday, we were discussing a defamation case, rampant in town now. And people, respectable people, said they won't use that language, but they admire people who use such language. You can see, I was tempted to say that the moment you condone such language, you are in league. You are both of the same feather. But then that is the situation we are in. Even his opponent at the last election, Atiku, says people who are involved in defamation are speaking truth to power. This is something they will not tolerate if they were in power. So he's appealing for, how do I put it, courtesy, respect, in such a way so that, you see, at the end of the day, we won't be at each other's throat. We still come back to live in the same house. That's what he's saying. That we are like family, maybe, what do you call it? Polygamous family. We have several wives and several rooms for children and all that. But you live together. At the end of the day, that's it. It's an appeal for us to live together and respect family values, but he's coining it in political terms. Let's leave it at that for now.
I certainly appreciate that insight, Mr. Sobowale. But for the sake of balance, let's look at what some critics might want to highlight. When we look at Nigeria's historical context when it comes to political manipulation along the ethnic and religious lines, how can this unity call that we were highlighting be distinguished from previous ones that we've seen?
Well, the contexts are always different. The unity thing led to civil war. And after civil war, there was reconstruction and all that. Then there was military intervention several times. In fact, luckily, just as I was coming in here, there's something in Dizzy at the back that the North has ruled, Nigeria is 64 years old, but that the North has ruled for 48 years, and the South has ruled for 16. And if you leave it to the North, they will still want to be there forever. So that is part of our balancing. At times, you have unintended consequences for things that happen. At times, for example, if a coup happens now, nobody invites coup plotters. They intervene. But invariably, when they come, the people are happy. And after some time, they see that they are even more corrupt than the people they sent packing. And then, so that is our history. And that is part of our history, too, is that we don't have a straightforward history. Because especially when they were in power, they don't like their children reading about the role they played in killing people or getting to power. They mapped out some of that. See, so we are a diverse nation. And even this president making this plea is the best example of how to be a Nigerian. Nobody expected him to be there. But you see, he built bridges. He built bridges such that even Northerners are defending him as stoutly as Southerners now. While some Southerners are after him for neglecting them. And the people in the Southeast, some governors will die for him, even though you know what is happening there. And the riverine areas, you know what is happening there. So it's a multi-ethnic, very diverse nation. And I don't envy anybody who's president, because he has to sleep with one eye open, you know, sanity. But I think he's pulling his weight. He's tolerant. You see, if you look at the language of those in opposition to him, you know that things will not be as it is now. I don't know where he finds the courage and patience, but he's very, very tolerant. He's used to people abusing him and ridiculing him. But then, they say, your freedom hence where my nose begins. Yeah. The law will take care of those who want to create anarchy. That is democracy.
I wish we had more time.
I wish we did too. But for now, we'd like to thank you for your brief and in-depth analysis. Arise News analyst, Mr. Sobowale, thank you so much for joining us.